Senator Lee, earlier this week you attended an oral argument at the Supreme Court. Can you tell us what that was about?
Yes, so I attended a case involving the President's unconstitutional recess appointments, which he issued on January 4th, 2012. The name of the case was United States versus Noel Canning. It involved a company that was challenging an order issued by the National Labor Relations Board, where 3 of the 4 unconstitutional recess appointments were made. The 4th, by the way, was to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The case centered on whether President Obama had the authority, constitutionally speaking, to simply declare the Senate to be in recess, when the Senate, according to its own rules, was not in recess. If the Senate was in recess, as the President asserted, then he had authority to make appointments to these boards without going through the Senate confirmation process, without abiding by the Constitution's advice and consent prerogative. But in this circumstance, because the United States Senate, according to its own rules, which it has the authority to establish under Article 1, Section 5 of the Constitution, then the Senate was not in recess. In fact, the Senate had just reconvened one day earlier on January 3rd, 2012. And so for that reason, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit concluded that President Obama acted unconstitutionally. Based on the arguments that were presented to the court and the way the justices responded, I strongly suspect that the Supreme Court, sometime between now and the end of June of this year, will reach the same conclusion reached by the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. That is, that the President violated the Constitution, that the President's not above the law, and that the President did, in fact, have to defer to the Senate's decision that it was not in recess.